This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, the City to Sea Bridge idea is back in the headlines as supporters push for a modern connection. We'll find out how local children are going to benefit from the work of an award-winning carpentry apprentice. And a bake sale kick-starts the results of an annual event that may increase in frequency. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Residents in favour of harbourside development are urging the Dunedin City Council to get cracking. In 2011, a city-to-sea bridge was proposed to connect the town centre to the steamer basin, and advocates say it's time to refresh the idea so Dunedin can catch up with the rest of the world.
Putting their case to the authorities, these residents are urging city councillors to fast-track the development of the proposed bridge connecting the CBD to the Upper Harbour.
We feel there's been a lot of inertia about the harbourside development, so we really want to help kickstart it in any way. There was a lot of discussions last year, a lot of newspaper articles, but again it seems to have gone into the backwaters again.
The proposed pedestrian and cycle bridge would allow direct access from near the Chinese Garden to the Custom House building. Supporters say the thoroughfare would promote more tourism and business in the harbour precinct. Mackay envisions it as a dam bursting, opening the claustrophobic city centre to the sea with its fresh air and pristine waters.
By putting the bridge in place, property developers will hopefully be incentivised to really invest in the area. So if they can see the council is going ahead with these sort of things, then hopefully the whole thing will take off.
It's believed the bridge would cost up to $3.5 million. Mackay says the DCC should consider partnering with property and business developers looking to invest in the area to cut costs to ratepayers. He says it's time for Dunedin to catch up with cities like Wellington, Auckland and others around the world which have bustling waterfronts.
Excuses are made like it being too cold and windy, but when you look at cities, even in the UK, the weather's often much worse, and just about every city around the world has gone ahead with their harbourside.
The bridge could also better connect planned and existing cycleways in the area, further promoting their usage. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
A full Labour Party caucus has just been held in Dunedin as part of a push to engage the regions. Almost all 32 Labour politicians attended, alongside local leaders and business people. Labour leader Andrew Little says such caucus gatherings are held about 4 times a year in different locations.
It's good to get out of Wellington. That means we're kind of not just in the capital, surrounded by kind of the government departments and Parliament, that we actually get to get right out. And it means we can host functions like the one we're doing with local stakeholders, local identities.
The function at Distinction Hotel was a chance for delegates to discuss the main issues in Dunedin. Little says they include the planned hospital upgrade and recent shift in hospital meal providers, as well as education. No big announcements were expected to come from the meeting. A local carpentry apprentice has won the Otago section of a national building contest. He competed alongside 4 others at Otago Polytechnic on Saturday, and their efforts are going to help children throughout the city.
Hammering home the win. Dunedin carpentry apprentice Chris Campbell has been competing against 4 others in the Otago section of a national contest. He won the 8-hour challenge put on by certified builders.
These are all apprentices that are usually around 2nd and 3rd year, so they've got a bit of confidence, but this hopefully will help them actually get into the trade and have a bit of confidence when they actually have to go out on their own and deal with people. Then they'll realise they'll be under a bit of pressure.
Each contestant had to construct a children's playhouse to the millimetre. Their health and safety practices were judged, as well as the condition of their tools and how they went about the construction. But ultimately it came down to who did the best job in the time given. Now the 5 completed playhouses are going to be donated to local early childhood centres.
The great thing about these playhouses is that the guys are actually building something that's going to go back to the community.
Campbell was the runner-up in last year's regional final when the Dunedin winner went on to place 3rd in the Nationals.
That involves quite a few things. It's not just building one thing. They have to get up and speak in front of people. They have to present to that are conferences that are going on. Really awesome opportunity again to really step up and see, if they've got the skills and the confidence to be able to stand in front of people and do stuff like that.
The Certified Builders Association is hoping the annual contest attracts more young people into the industry. Gray says there's a significant shortage of young builders and apprentices, despite a growing need for them, especially in Christchurch and Auckland.
We're hoping that small things like this competition, and for one, encourage the young guys to come through, but also the community's welcome to come along and have a look, and hopefully, in trying to involve the community, they can see that there is actually good young tradesmen coming through.
The association is keen to base future challenges around other items that can benefit the wider community. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.
A long-awaited report into the performance of local infrastructure during last June's flooding is finally about to be made public. The Dunedin City Council initiated the report, which has reportedly been peer-reviewed. Staff decided to investigate the performance of mud tanks in coping with record rainfall following complaints by the public. It's been suggested the council didn't maintain infrastructure to adequate standards, contributing to the devastation caused. Some business and home owners are still dealing with flood damage almost a year on. The report is due to be considered in the council's next Infrastructure Services Committee meeting on the 26th of April. University of Otago students have been indulging their sweet tooth for a good cause. The Students' Association bake sale was held today, raising money for this weekend's tertiary Relay for Life event, and there are plans to make the fitness-based fundraiser more frequent.
Sampling an array of sweet treats. 4 lucky judges had the task of deciding this year's winning creations for the OUSA Staff Bake-Off in aid of the upcoming University Relay for Life. They say they're looking for the whole package.
The taste was definitely the most important thing for me, I'd have to say. Yeah.
I sort of eat with my eyes, so I was looking for something quite pretty as well.
There was no shortage of tasty and attractive delights on offer, from densely layered cakes to American-style pumpkin pie. While the sale is a treat for customers, all the money raised is going to the local branch of the Cancer Society. The last student relay in 2014 generated just over $60,000, and the Society's CEO says such events are essential in highlighting the cause.
It's incredibly important. Cancer impacts on just about everyone at some stage in their life, whether it's a close family member or a friend or even themselves or a partner. So it's really important to keep that awareness going annually.
The university's Relay for Life event is run specifically for the city's tertiary students. It's currently held every 2 years, alternating with the citywide relay event, but Kernahan wants to change that.
Whilst we've typically had relays every second year, with the uni relay we're looking at doing it annually, because just so that we get that continuity with the students' involvement.
He's working through the logistics of the proposed change to ensure the 2 relays don't impact on one another. For now, the focus is the university relay in a few days' time, when competitors can burn off their bake sale indulgences. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we'll find out how you can help the DCC improve its waste and recycling collection service. And we have the latest after yesterday's crash in Brockville.
Far too much stock. Alex Campbell Menswear, South Dunedin. Don't let me bore you, but it's rock bottom. Jeans, $40. Casual pants from only $20. Shorts from $30. Hundreds of them. Hundreds and hundreds of shirts at rock bottom prices from $20. And knitwear from $50. That's rock bottom.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's rock bottom.
For professional, reliable and approachable service where your dream kitchen design can become an affordable reality, contact the team at Kitchens for Less. Call 455 9973 or visit us online.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoai Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
demander des casse-têtes sur la pointure des pieds maintenant.
Oui, tu vas voir Marjolaine et d'accord, ok.
Mobility scooters Otago's, mobility scooters new and used, electric manual wheelchairs, strollers and walkers, free home demonstration and delivery. Call Tony on 03 455 2875 or visit our showroom, 211 Canudwood Street, opposite Westpac.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Ecrotech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 117766.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Welcome back. Kiwis are spending more in the hospitality and consumables industries and less on fuel. That's shown in the latest electronic card data comparing last month to March 2015. Retail spending overall was up 6.2% to $5 billion. The main decrease was in relation to fuel, but the apparel sector was also down by $7 million for the month. Overall, Kiwis have been shelling out more on retail in recent years. And on that note, let's take a look at today's markets. The NZX 50 has closed the day down 5 points. It's now at 6,725. The FTSE is up 68 points. To the exchange rates, the Kiwi dollar is down quite slightly against the Australian, but we are up against the other currencies we follow. The Dunedin City Council is trying to improve its waste collection and recycling, but it needs residents to help. Laura McElhone is the Council's Group Manager of Waste and Water, and she joins us to explain. Good evening.
Good evening.
What problems occur with waste collection locally?
So we're always trying to encourage people to minimise the amount of waste they produce, but what we're really focusing on at the moment is to make sure that people are recycling their materials properly, and that means putting the right things in the right places, making sure things are clean. That means that we can get those materials off to proper recycling markets, keep as much of it out of landfill as we possibly can, but most importantly keep our staff and our contractors safe when they're running through the processes.
So how are you addressing those issues?
So really education is our primary tool. We're putting a lot of information out into the media, we're updating our websites, we've changed the information that goes on our calendars that goes out to people for recycling. Hopefully that is making it easier for people to understand how they can use things the way we would like them to.
How much household waste gets recycled in the city every year?
So in the last 12 months we have collected about 9,000 tonnes of recyclable material. Of that, 8,200 has actually gone off to the recycling markets. So we're running about 90% of what we collect actually gets properly recycled and reused.
Does any of our recyclable material go to the landfill?
Yep, so around about 8 to 10% each year goes to landfill. That is simply what we can't recycle. So whenever we collect things, whether or not it's from your curbside bin or from the public places bins, any of that material, one way or another, is hand sorted. So it's either hand sorted at one of the depots or it goes to our recycling plant, and literally that all gets emptied out onto a conveyor belt. Somebody goes through it by hand. So that separates it out into the different materials, into the plastics, the cardboards, and then they're packaged up and sent away. So it's really important that we keep that material clean and safe.
So these items that are going into the landfill then are items that fall outside of the band of acceptable recyclable materials?
Absolutely. So it's either things that just should have been sent to waste in the first place, or sometimes it's things that are really dirty. So a pizza box, for example. It's cardboard, but if there's a lot of food waste on it, that can't be recycled. It's probably gone mouldy by the time it's sat around for a while. So that kind of dirty material can't be recycled. And separating it out so that we can make sure that we don't have our material rejected when it comes to the actual depots that reprocess it.
What are some of the more dangerous items that are being recycled?
So unfortunately, one of the worst ones that we have is people putting medical needles into milk bottles. We're really pleased to say that the District Health Board are now rolling out a programme of having a collection service available for pharmacists. That's coming in from this month, so that will make it much, much easier for medical users to get rid of that material. The other thing is the plastic shopping bag. So the plastic shopping bag is a problem because it actually clogs up the machine that squashes the plastic bottles, for example, and then somebody has to unclog that, so that's dangerous. So those plastic bags shouldn't go into your curbside bin. A lot of supermarkets will collect them, so you can reuse them, or when they're broken up, you can send them back via your supermarket, but we ask people not to put them into their curbside bins.
What about polystyrene?
So polystyrene, the big expandable packaging material, the council services don't collect that, but you can actually drop it off at the transfer station. There's a private transfer station on Devon Street. They will take that expanded polystyrene.
Is the contamination of rubbish a growing problem?
It's been fairly consistent. It's different times of year. After Christmas, we do get a lot of the expanded polystyrene, that kind of thing. But it has held relatively steady. Sometimes it's just good for us to put a particular push to remind people of how to do it right, particularly with the students. We've been doing a lot of work in the student area. Each intake of new students, they come from areas that do it a bit differently. So we like this time of year to get those messages out there as well.
How are other countries, councils around the country dealing with recycling?
So it's different, particularly the contamination problem. It's different ways for different councils, but fundamentally it's education as the first tool, making sure we've got a service that people can use, trying to make it as easier to use as possible, and then educate. If we really have to, then we have some enforcement tools available, but we would much rather just help people to do it right in the first place.
How long is the Green Island landfill expected to last?
So we have consent until 2023. We will have some capacity we expect beyond that, but there are some questions that we have to work through as to whether or not we want to invest the money to try and extend that consent, because there's quite a lot of physical work that will be needed to do.
What alternatives are there?
So the council has a designation over another site already, so there has been a little bit of work gone into whether or not we could move to that site. We're currently working through a process to see whether or not we would want to extend Green Island, whether we want to move to the other site, and also whether or not we would do that on our own or possibly in partnership with others who've got expertise in that area.
From the Dunedin City Council, Laura McElhone, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, high-speed rally drivers boost the city's economy and hundreds take to a running track in reverse.
Sir Bob Charles, New Zealand's greatest golfer and still going strong.
I'm sure that Sportsville was a contributing factor to my success, and I'll continue to use it.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville, a product so good he puts his name to it.
Well, I believe Sportsville helps maintain your quality of life.
Now being used by active men and women globally to support strength and mobility.
It works for me.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville in the new all-black pack. Call now for the Sportsville special. 0800 502 402.
Ecrotech Limited have been supplying beekeeping equipment and honey products in New Zealand for over 100 years. A specialist manufacturer of hiveware and plastic products for the beekeeping industry. They are the leading supplier of beekeeping equipment nationwide. For all your beekeeping needs, visit ecrotech.co.nz or call 0800 11 7766.
Oui, tu vas voir Marjolaine et
Mobility scooters are Targos. Mobility scooters, new and used. Electric manual wheelchairs, strollers and walkers. Free home demonstration and delivery. Call Tony on 03 455 2875 or visit our showroom, 211 Canudwood Street, opposite Westpac.
New Zealand Beeswax Limited are the quintessential beeswax, woodware and beekeeping suppliers. From the amateur beekeeper to the commercial operator, New Zealand Beeswax Limited has the quantity to meet your needs. For great prices, great service New Zealand-wide, contact New Zealand Beeswax Limited on 03 693 9189 or visit www.beeswax.co.nz.
Far too much stock. Alex Campbell Menswear, South Dunedin. Don't let me bore you, but it's rock bottom. Jeans, $40. Casual pants from only 20. Shorts from 30. Hundreds of them. Hundreds and hundreds of shirts at rock bottom prices. From $20. And knitwear from $50. That's rock bottom.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's rock bottom.
Ready Lawn has the perfect solution for all those lawn woes. Call Ready Lawn today on 486 1819.
Here's something else to look forward to sinking your teeth into every weekend with the Otago Daily Times. The Weekend Mix, your guide to what's hot in fashion, entertainment, food and more. New weekend magazine in your ODT. Pick up your copy this Saturday.
There's generally not a job that we can't get a door out and in a day.
It's important to make sure you get a good design because you're going to be in it for the rest of your life.
There's no schemes that are wrong when it's a personal choice thing, but some do look better than others.
Welcome back. 3 people remain in Dunedin Hospital following a car crash in Brockville Road yesterday afternoon. The patients were taken to hospital in serious conditions following the incident at about 4:20 p.m. One had to be cut free from the wreckage. It appears a small Toyota car was being driven at speed when it rounded a corner and ploughed into a parked Volkswagen Beetle and rolled. 2 people were reportedly getting into the VW at the time. The incident happened near the intersection of Brockville Road and Ettrick Street. Police are investigating but have yet to lay charges. 100 high-speed drivers have carved up local roads in the 40th annual Otago Rally. The event serves as the opening round of the New Zealand Rally Championship and has this year attracted more entries than ever before. And that's helped to significantly boost the local economy.
Cruising into the central city, a record number of race cars took over the octagon for the beginning of this year's Otago Rally. But organisers aren't surprised by the Dunedin event's increasing popularity.
I think it's a general sign of the times that the economy is improving, but also Rally Otago is gaining a really solid reputation around the country. And we run a 2-day event, we run 2 two-day events in the country, and the roads and the reception that the people give them down here is just really top-notch.
100 competitors took part in the rally, with 12 of those travelling from overseas. Oakley says the unique countryside is a draw card for a lot of drivers, as well as the opportunity to see local landmarks.
We try and link the event into all the things that we like about Dunedin, like starting in the octagon here and finishing at the railway station. We have a big dinner in the town hall with 430 people, but it also fills up the accommodation around the town. A very conservative calculation is a direct spend of $1 million during this weekend.
Plenty of spectators lined the course, hoping to catch a glimpse of the fast and furious action. Organisers say making sure the event runs smoothly and is safe for all those involved is one of the key challenges in staging the event.
There's an enormous amount of road closures and administration and safety procedures. 300 volunteers are out there during the weekend, and a lot of hard work to raise sponsorship and support. We're very grateful for everything we get.
World Rally Championship star Hayden Paddon took out the top spot at the weekend event with a record-winning margin of more than 9 minutes. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
One of Dunedin's most popular running races went off without a hitch at the weekend, with stellar conditions to match. More than 200 runners took to the tracks to compete in the 33rd Three Peaks mountain race, and this year there was a twist.
marking out the finishing line. Members of the Leith Harriers Club have spent weeks preparing for another run of a popular racing staple held in the city yesterday.
Three Peaks mountain race has been going for 33 years. It encompasses the three hills that surround Dunedin. This year it's going to be Mount Cargill, Swampy Summit and Flagstaff.
Local physiotherapist Stafford Thompson was first over the line, taking away the men's title for the fourth consecutive year. Dunedin Police Inspector Mel Aitken won the Women's Open in her first appearance. There was a 15-kilometre track as well as a main 26-kilometre route for runners to test their endurance. But this year it was held in reverse, finishing at Chingford Park in the Northeast Valley.
Usually it's the other way around, it's just for a change. So it's for the first time in 33 years it's in reverse.
Entry numbers were up, with 230 runners taking part compared to around 150 in previous years. The Leith Harriers Club has been hosting the event since 1983, and members say it's an instrumental part of the Dunedin running scene.
Most local runners have done it at least once. Some have done it, 20 odd times. A lot of varsity students have also done it. They go away raving about it. So it's a real test of character, really, because it's not easy.
The race will revert back to its usual direction next year. Annabelle Dick, 39, Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Residents are urging the City Council to progress a proposed pedestrian and cycle bridge connecting the CBD to the Steamer Basin. A Dunedin carpentry apprentice has won the Otago final of a national competition in which children's playhouses were made for the community. And a bake sale has kick-started university students' fundraising efforts for the Cancer Society ahead of their Relay for Life. Well, it's time now to take a look at what's going to be in Tuesday's Otago Daily Times, and editor Barry Stewart joins us. Good evening.
Hello, Rebecca. Another good news story for Dunedin. Cruise ship visits are set to jump from 82 to 96 next season.
Wow.
And that means 200,000 people will dock in the city, potentially.
Fabulous.
So that's good news. Southern District Health Board says there's clearly an issue with the hospital food, and Compass will be held to account. Highlands Motorsport Park in Cromwell are undertaking an interesting exercise. They're going to trial a tourist driver training program in association with a rental car company to all about getting cheaper insurance for overseas drivers. But that's a positive initiative. Work on sand issues at Sinclair Beach has been delayed somewhat, and US Masters this morning, wasn't that fantastic? Did you enjoy that?
I was busy getting ready for work.
I know it went on a bit longer than that, and then you were at work, so you probably couldn't watch it. But yeah, sensational turnaround there, and we have all the results of that. And Bill Truan, a long-serving ODT golf rider, has been named a life member of Golf Otago.
Oh, good for him. That's all in tomorrow's ODT and more. Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
Time now for local weather.
This weather report proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn Sportsville.
And here is today's City View. It's taken of an alleyway in the CBD. Around the city today at 3 o'clock, 24 degrees for the central city, 23 in the Gardens and 25 out on the Tyree. To the situation, and a weakening cold front will move across the country tomorrow, followed by a cool southwest flow. To some of the regions tomorrow, southwest is easing with showers for Invercargill, Gore, Tiano and Alexandra. And southwest is easing with showers for Queenstown and Oamaru. A few showers on the cards for Wanaka and Twizel. In Dunedin tonight, some rain with a low of 7. Showers and fresh cold southwesters tomorrow with 12 degrees. And on Wednesday, sunny periods, cold winds easing at a high of 14. To the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information, and high tide tomorrow morning is at 16 to 8. Low tide follows at 22 to 3. And fishing conditions aren't looking good, but if you were keen, you might like to try it around 5 past tomorrow evening. And that's local news for tonight. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear. supporting local content so you can see more.